Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building, it's starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Good morning, good morning. Let's get the disclaimer out the way first. Hey, thank you for that ice cream cone. I appreciate that, Michael Johnson. Good morning to you.
Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. All things said on today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request that you leave the live now. Enjoy.
Yes. Good morning, happy, wonderful Wednesday. Although it may, hashtag Truth Podcast, welcome. I pray that you guys are feeling better over there. Except if you're this guy. This guy right here just more than likely is not having a wonderful Wednesday, especially after the events that unfolded yesterday during his trial. And I want to talk about that. And the first thing I want to say about that is this. If you are one of the ones who said, well,
Capricorn Clark didn't say nothing different than what Cassie said. It's the same testimony. I don't see nothing. That don't prove nothing of what they charging him for.
then you, my friend, did not listen, because what Capricorn Clark's testifying did yesterday, a testimony did yesterday, was all but cook. No, yeah, she cooked Puffy Jacket. Rotisserie, you could roll them rotisserie. She did that. And if you listened carefully and deeply, you know that. If you still saying that you don't see what he's being charged with being proven, then we're just at a point now where you choose not to see it, or you don't want to believe that he's guilty of the things that they're charging him with. Because Capricorn Clark did just that. She gave you what y'all have been asking for. When we had Cassie on the stand, it was, well, this is DV. They're not proving nothing else. And I told y'all then, just wait. They are building the case. Michael Johnson says, yes, it does. Capricorn's testimony solidified Cassie's testimony. Yes, sir, it did. And I don't care who get mad about it. We are here dealing with facts, and that's what happened. It shows pattern, Michael Johnson says. Exactly. It showed his pattern. Definitely showed his pattern. And she put the actions with it. So now, what's going to happen? I told y'all back then, when you were saying what Cassie was on the stand, and this is DV, it wasn't no Ricardo charges. It wasn't no Smex trafficking. It wasn't no anything. Well, I can't remember what the other thing he got. Oh yeah, I can't say that word. But the other thing, the other P word, it wasn't none of that. You get it? She put all of that into context. She laid it out for you why what he's charged with, he is charged with, right? And so that's why we are where we are now. And I'm going to play this audio. Once again, I always say I'm just going to not even worry about you all. And just if you're not going to believe it, then you're just not going to believe it. And I need to stop trying to do that. But I keep trying to give you all little nuggets of information that can answer the question for you. You understand? So here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to play this audio. And we're going to, because still, and it's so discouraging to hear people say, good morning to you, Sami. Good morning to you. It's discouraging to hear people still claiming to this day. Here we are, what, second week in the trial, third week in the trial, something like that, second week in the trial, something like that. But here we are, and people are still saying that Cassie wanted it. She asked for it. She facilitated it. It was her idea. Third week. Thank you, Melinda. Here we are, third week into it, and people are still saying these things. Like, come on, man. Like, it's you clearly don't want to see it. So we're gonna listen to some audio. And I pray that you all get it. But I'm gonna tell you too, like I said, I gotta go back to the people who were saying that yesterday's testimony from Capricorn Clark was the same as Cassie. Man, if you feel that way, I got beachfront property for sale in Montana and Wyoming. Because listen, she cooked him so much to the point where even the prosecutors have said, you know what, we're probably not going to need all this time for this trial. We're going to be able to wrap this up sooner than we thought. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Let's listen. Let's listen and hear how Cass, because we've already tried to put this to you all before. When I say you all, not all of you, because some of us in here know, but I'm talking about for the ones who still just cannot wrap their head around the fact of why she didn't leave, why she stayed, and how it wasn't her that didn't facilitate stuff or things like that. And even when she did, quote unquote, go along with stuff, it was out of fear. It was Stockholm syndrome, which I brought that up so many times before, and people act like they don't know what Stockholm syndrome is. I ought to make that a homework assignment to go and look for the people who don't understand. I should say go look it up, and then you turn in a report to me tomorrow on what Stockholm syndrome is. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, welcome, Audrey. I'm glad you said that. She stayed because he is rich. Understand, she had her own money. You know what? Nope. Let's play the audio. Let's play the audio. Because you forgetting, Audrey, she made her own money modeling before she met him. But you want to know what gets me even more is the fact that you all go to that instead of looking at the fact that he was already eyeing her when she was 16 years old. Y'all will go to the money, but you won't go to the grooming part. He used that money to groom her and to bait her in. You get it? Probably don't. Let's go. Let's go. No. Hey. There we go. You saying he wrong, but she ain't innocent. The difference is she's not on trial. The difference is in her testimony, she admitted to what she done wrong. Problem is she's got immunity, so she ain't got to worry about it. But she admitted what she did wrong. The problem is he's not admitting what he did wrong. He's saying he's innocent, and you all are buying it. That's the problem. But let's go. Let's go. Sit down. Grab a seat. You're welcome. You're welcome, Aubrey. Audrey. Is it Audrey? Audrey. Sorry. I see the R now. Audrey. You're welcome. Sit down. No shade, no argument, no heat. I'm just saying we all here together, okay? So sit down. You're welcome here. You're welcome here. Exotic Medusa, good morning. June's Happy Scent, good morning, says you are 100% right. I'm just trying to call it down the middle. Listen, I'm gonna call it down the middle. If something comes up that I feel like he didn't do or they haven't proved, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. But you got to listen. Philly, good morning. You got to listen to the words. You got to listen what's going on. And you got to know what Ricardo charges all encompasses. Mickey, good morning, love. You got to know what it all encompasses. And they've already showed you all of that. You get me? So right now when I'm talking about Exotic Medusa is we're about to play some audio because a lot of people feel like yesterday's testimony from Capricorn Clark it was the same as Cassie. So I'm trying to show them I'm trying to tell them the difference of thank you for the rose, Philly, how it's not the same. How in actuality, Capricorn Clark's testimony yesterday was 10 times, if not 100 times more devastating than what Cassie's was. And if you can't get yesterday, because in the beginning, oh, I love that. Thank you for the United Heart. I appreciate that. Who sent that? Was that June's Happy Sense? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's give it up for June's Happy Sense. I appreciate that. If you think it's the same, when Cassie was on the stand, all you heard people saying who couldn't get down with what she was saying was, well, they're not proving to me any Ricardo, and we got to use words here, Ricardo acts, right, Evie, she still wanted to work because she still had family to even, a child to even care for. But he had already told her, also, when you say that, follow it up with this, though, Evie, and good morning to you, Evie Lolo. Follow it up behind this, where he told her that he would have her thrown in the East River. What is that? So she already felt like she couldn't work for nobody else. She already felt like he would blackball her. He already told her he would. He already told her he would throw her in the East River. She was fearful for her life. And yeah, okay, so you say, well, she said she didn't have right, Mary? That's I mean, she gave you all of the Ricardo charges y'all were asking for when Cassie was on the stand, and yet you still sit here and deny it. You still sit here and deny it. So what that tells me is you don't want to hear. You don't want to believe he did any of the things that they said he's done. She already told you about the fact that, hold on, he didn't say that it was a lie detector person. That's who he hot. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. The lie detector person. Here's the thing. These people work for him. That's how you get the RICO charges, because now you have a criminal enterprise that you are running and directing. I'm glad you brought it, because now you just answered your own question. I like that, Evie. I love it when you do it that way. I love it. They had already mentioned about that long before that, and it wasn't Cassie and Cuddy's case to say, because they wasn't in the car with him. He didn't kidnap Cassie. He didn't kidnap Cuddy and take them at point over to the house. You see what I'm saying? But let's get this going. Because like I said, she gave you all that y'all wanted as far as Ricardo charges. And so now, if you still trying to deny that fact, you just don't want to see him as being the person that he is. But I'm not going to hold you no longer.
How you feel about
Here we
the
go.
people that feel like Cassie, she was complicit with Diddy?
Well, I don't have nothing bad to say about the people in general.
Hold up. Poetic Ladies Talk Show. Thank you for that daily heart me. And let me give you a shout out for becoming the number 24 fan in the fan club. I appreciate that, love. Thank you for the support.
But it was an old saying that my man Ward, salute to Anthony Ward out there in St. Louis. He said, You can't teach stupid. People are just stupid, bruh. You can't teach stupid. Now, what we found out if they went to the trial, that Cassie was 16
Ibi
years
Lolo,
old.
thank you for that heartbeat. I
modeling.
appreciate it.
She was 16 years old modeling.
Let's give it up for Ibi
And
Lolo
Diddy
for
knew
becoming
about her
the number
daddy.
25 fan in the fan club.
At 16
Thank you for that
years
support,
old,
beautiful.
because they had mutual friends.
What began
Hold
as
on,
a
we have a
gutsy
commercial.
inspiration.
I'm gonna get you right back to it. Don't worry about it.
And Bad Boy was doing that same Sean John and doing perfumes, colognes, or whatever like that. He had his eye on this girl at 16 years old. But you know he was with probably Jennifer at the time. He was the Cassie getting older. He may have not started messing with her until 19, but he was dealing with her and seeing her and grooming her. Having people be in touch with her at 16. At 16. So now, he gets her at 19 years old. He shows her the world. He shows her the world, bro. Everybody that said something to her about the trial who knew Cassie from 16 to the point she messed with Diddy, she was not a type of girl that slept around. If she was in a relationship with a guy, it was monogamous. It was just between them two.
How many folks try to come out and say, well, she did that with her other boyfriends. He did this and that. Meek says he was over heels in love with J-Lo, Meek.
She didn't do hard drugs. She didn't do ecstasy. She didn't do pills.
We love TikTok Shop. We love TikTok Shop. We love TikTok Shop.
So now, he gets this little girl. He been watching her since she was 16. He gets her at 18, 19 years old.
Facts, Ibi
I'm
Lolo.
going Gucci, buy whatever she want to. She can go in Fendi and buy whatever she want to. Louis Vuitton, Dolce & Gabbana. She getting on G5 jets. You got one of the hot songs. You do a video. You go into all these places you ever dreamed of.
And people, this is all part of what we call the grooming phase. Do you understand? That's what that is. Jules Happy Cent, thank you for that paper crane. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. He showed her all these. He showered her with these lavish gifts, these trips, places. Thank you for that rose, Philly. You get it? What does the old people call it? Philly, thank you for that heart puff. What do the old folks call that? They use courting. Courting, I think is what it was called. It's like courting, but it's also like a honeymoon phase. Like when you first meet somebody, and you ladies, you first meet this guy, and guys, we meet this girl or this female, and and she just is everything. And ladies, you meet the guy, he's so charming, he opened the door for you when you go out to eat and stuff like that. Only to the fact. Hey, Tiffany, how's it going? Good morning. Thank you for that heartbeat. I appreciate that, Tiffany. Only to kind of get you reeled in, so to speak, right? And I got to try to use my words because they already sending a warning out to me. But I get that all the time when I'm spitting the real. But it's like a like reeling you in, winning you over, showering you with gifts and stuff like that. And then once the relationship has went on for a while and they become complacent or comfortable, however you want to use it. And T.J. Madison, excuse me, you said Puffy Jacket should not go down by himself. You don't get an argument out of me with that because I agree with you on that. What I don't agree is people telling the truth about him, or understanding the truth about him, and just admitting what he did was wrong. And he done it for so long and got away with it that it just caught up with him. So I'm not disagreeing with you. Other people shouldn't go down with him. What I'm disagreeing with you on is that he's not guilty of what he's being accused of. You get me? And then once they become complacent, they stop doing those things for you, and then don't pay the same attention to you that they used to, right? And in his case, and understand when I say this, I'm not giving him an out. I'm talking about Puffy Jacket. In his case, he had gotten her to the point where she would do whatever he wanted her to do and degrade herself to any level of capacity because she loved him. He loved the fact that he had property. She was his property. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, and I don't know, but she probably had that good too, and that's why he would freak out whenever he would find out she was talking to somebody else. But y'all acting like y'all hadn't experienced that in real life. You get it? No, it's not her fault. It's not her fault. And the thing about it is, even on the stand, an expert that deals with mental health told you and explained to you why it was not her fault. So that's all I can say. Now, again, I tell you, Cassie did say on the stand that she did do these things that he wanted her to do. You get me? But she's also said on the stand, I'm talking about Cassie, she also said on due command. Yeah, you're right, Evie Lola. I forgot about that part. I'll say that too after this. You're right. I'm glad you brought that up. She did say she did these things because she did fall in love with him. You get me? And she did feel like that he made her feel like she wasn't good enough. So she wanted to prove her loyalty to him. She wanted to prove that she did love him. Right? Now, to what E.B. Lolo was saying too, yeah, and I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up, love. When there was people at the house, Capricorn Clark was saying there's people at the house, and there was other people at the house as well, but he called Cassie into the room and like told her to walk over here, walk over there, turn around, come back 2 steps, and, give me the remote, put the remote back down, take the remote over there, bring it back to me, and go back in the room. And then told Capricorn Clark and a few other ladies there, that's why y'all don't have no man, because y'all don't listen and obey like that. Now, for my women on here to keep blaming Cassie, let me know what y'all would do if y'all man talked to y'all that way. Facts, Tiffany. That is so true. That is so true. But you sitting up here in the show, and Cassie went along with it. Cassie was wrong. She did it. She liked it. It was for the money. Knowing good and well, if a man was stomping you out and had made threats to you and your well-being and your family well-being, you would do whatever you had to do to survive and protect your family, all while trying to figure out when is a good time and a good plan to escape. And that doesn't happen instantaneously. Y'all get me?
Here go this man. He put his hands on you. He started putting you in sexual acts and doing
We
things
love
to
TikTok
you
Shop.
and drugging you out
We
your
love TikTok
mind.
Shop.
Did they hear Cassie mama testimony? When she testified, not testimony, when she testified,
We might get, hey, we're going to try to keep rocking with it. We're going to try to keep rocking with it.
that her daughter came to her and said, Ma, he got these tapes on me doing things that I should
Hey,
have never
Demetrius,
done, that I
good
knew
morning, brother. How
better.
you doing?
But I was in love with him. Some women out there ain't never loved that hard. And some men ain't never had women
Demetrius,
that loved them
great
that
question.
hard.
How many times did he hold the people down? Because again, it's not just, and we said this yesterday, it's not just Cassie. If you think that was the first time in that hotel video that he did that to her, you're crazy. If you think that she was the only one that it happened to, you haven't been paying attention. Because, and to date, let me tell y'all, let me let y'all in on something. It's been said that today, a victim by the name of Mia, and that's not her real name. That's not her real name. It's an alias. But she's going under the pseudonym of Mia, is supposed to take the stand today. And they said that she is going to do even more damage to his Ricardo case than Capricorn Clark did. TJ said no, 2 escorts said that Cassie made them do things to them and he didn't tell her to do. She's been trained, TJ. She's been trained. They've also said that it wasn't always Cassie. It was other women he did this with at the hotel, like when they would have to stock it and when that sounds crazy saying stock it, right? But and when we say stocking, we thinking like, because when we go to a hotel, stocking means, you know, clean linen, clean towels, clean wash rags and soap and shampoo and stuff. But yeah, no, when I say stock, that's not what I mean when it's pertaining to him. But you know, they said she wasn't the only one he did that with. But the thing about it is, he's also smart. And I said this before, and I say it again. There is some geniusness to what he's done, because he moved like an OG. He moved like a kingpin in a way. And what I mean by that is, he had other people carry out different things. So his hands wouldn't be dirty. But the fact of the matter is, he orchestrated it. You know? I don't know. Who knows what made her start to cry the abuse. But in saying she did it, what do you got to say, TJ, about the other people that witnessed it and didn't do anything about it? So don't just put it on Cassie since she just started crying and screaming abuse, because she went to people. I'm going to hold you accountable, TJ. She told people. She went to his bodyguards and told them they didn't do anything because they were all afraid of him. Grown men were afraid of him. So what are you expecting from a woman? No shade to my ladies, because I know some of y'all in here can pack a punch and knock somebody out if you need to, but that's not what I'm saying. Please don't take it that way. That's one that people always say. TJ Madison, first and foremost, let me welcome you, because I don't think I've seen you in here before, but I do want to welcome you because we went over that before too. Now, the thing about that is, a lot of people did go to the cops. But the thing about it was, the cops were in on it. They were part of the whole scheme. They knew that when it came to him, he had them in their back pocket. He would give them some some money, a duffel bag of money or whatever, and give them, and that's it. In some cases, in some lawsuits, alleged victims, and I got to say alleged for the integrity of the live. I'm not trying to discredit any victim, okay? But I have to do that, people. But alleged victims have went to the police, and the police called him to come and pick back down to the police station and get them. And then he came in with some money, gave it to him, and that was that, swept under the rug. TJ says, okay, she got an attorney and she got a settlement, so how come that worked? She was owed that, bruh. I mean, he could, because the way he's looking at it as she was just an employee, right? Right? Am I right? Right or wrong? And so maybe she felt like, well, look, she was just a SMEX worker in a way. Yeah, they was in a relationship and stuff like that. But let me put it to you in this context, brother. Let's take the fame out of it, because it seems to me I'm getting the fact that it's Puffy Jacket and he's famous, that's clouding your judgment. So let me see if I can. Let's take these elements out of it. Let's just go to common people, right? And that's true too, Fern Life. Is he missing the fact that case is not Cassie versus Diddy? Right, it's the United States versus Diddy. Because, and here's the thing, you forget, Cassie didn't even want to come and testify. She didn't even want to do this, but yet and still here we are. No, I do believe there's clout. I'm gonna tell you why. But let me do it this way. Let's say, just you on the street. Let's go downtown Atlanta, right? Let's go downtown Atlanta. And let's say, because unfortunately, unfortunately, this is one of the places where we have the highest sapphiking going on. But let's just say that there's a constitution going on, right? Because we do have that, right? Whoever the pimp is, in order to make his Janes stay in line, he abuses them physically. Right or wrong? Do you follow that? He breaks them. You don't follow. Okay. So I cannot say the word, but rhyme it. When I said constitution, I'm using a P. I need a P to go there, right? It really is repentant repentant heart every day. It's disparaging. It really is. But and I'm not laughing at that. Yes, that. Thank you. Thank you. Repentant heart every day. Yes. So when what she said, what you saying? So when they don't do right, the simp, this would start with a P, will them and break them to keep them in line. He did the same thing to Cassie. But that is a working relationship between them. Now, I ain't saying it's right work, but what I'm saying is it's looked at as a working relationship. The simp take the S out, put a P, puts them out there on the street to make money to bring back to him. Same thing. We just using a higher echelon of that, or a more fancy version of that, because of the people that we're dealing with are celebrities. But the action, the motive is the same thing, which gives you part of the RICO that y'all keep saying they're not proving. Okay? Come on. Stay with me, TJ. Stay with me, TJ.
Well, they would do things that they would have normally did they ain't do with another guy, but they do with you. You was they first in a lot of stuff. He drugged this girl out of her mind. Did tapes on her.
GS Life 25. Thank
Threatened
you.
her. You see that? Look at the screen up there.
Philly says people forget she also
See
was,
that video?
yeah, out on party favors. Facts. Facts.
That's you. She got to look hard because she don't remember. She don't think that's her. She don't believe it's her. But that's her up on that screen.
Now, let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. Come have a seat, TJ. Audrey, where you at? I hope you still with me. Like he was just saying. Although he put it up on the wall, I'm going to put it to you in an actual event that happened. Okay, so when they were flying back home from somewhere, Cassie purposely and intentionally got her seat on the flight, what you call it, switched, so she didn't have to sit by him. But he went and switched with the person that was sitting next to her in her new seat and sat by her anyway. Follow me through here. Then shows her videos of the compromising situations or the things that they was doing in the FOs, or she was doing in the FOs, right? And basically told her, I will show everybody this. I will show the world this if you don't keep doing what I tell you to do. Now, hold on. TJ Madison says, okay, the bodyguard saw a lot, but he did say that women would do things on their own. He did say that. And we're not saying that some women didn't do things on their own, but those women aren't on trial. And those women are not being brought up as far as running a Ricardo enterprise. TJ? Hell, Cassie even said she did some of it. But she told you why she done it. Now, we're not naive enough to sit here and think that some women didn't just throw themselves at him because of who he was. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand, brother. We are keeping it real when it comes to the perspective of things. I need you to do the same thing on the other end, on the other side of the coin. But I brought this up because, yeah, he did that to Cassie. And that was one reason why she didn't leave, because she didn't want everybody to see her doing these things like this. And let me tell you something, TJ, regardless of what they was, when she said no to one and he still made her do it, a crime is committed. Like, I don't even know if you're married. I don't know. And you don't have to put that out here. That's your business. Well, I'm just giving you an example, okay? And I'm just using you. Let's say you're married, TJ, and you went out and you hung out with the boys and everything. Y'all went and watched the game at the bar and everything like that. And you come home, you done had your son, you feeling good. You come home and, you trying to be romantic with your wife. And she's got to work the next morning. She's been up, and so she's tired. And then you get in bed, and you ready to go. And it's your wife. You know what you got to do to get her, what you normally do to get her going, and you do those things. And she says, "No, baby, not tonight." Hold on, let me get you right. Hold on.
No, baby, not tonight. I'm tired. Maybe tomorrow.
But man, you been ready to go. You done been to the bar with your boys. You done had some. You done threw back, and now you ready to go. But she told you no. So you get upset that she told you no, and so then you take it. Guess what? Even though that's your wife, you, sir, have committed a crime. Well, to her point, it is alleged they have 100 witnesses. So that's where the 100 come from. So I'm saying, man, I don't know if y'all are watching the same thing. I don't know if y'all keep up with it like we keep up with it, because there's a lot of things that I don't feel like that's key and pertinent to know, and y'all don't. TJ said, then why isn't Trump in jail if it's a crime? Thank you. That's what I say. That's what I've been saying. But come on, TJ. You know why they not, man. Stop playing games. TJ, I like you and we cool, brother. And I want you to know that I say this what I'm going to say respectfully, brother. Anybody who don't know or lack the enlightenment, I'm happy to give it to them. But anybody who chooses to be intentionally ignorant, I don't get along with good. You know good and well why that man is walking around scot-free, knowing what he done. And we know that the one that he was charged for, what's her name? E. Jean Carroll, something like that. She's not the only one. We know. And so I'm with you on that, brother. That's what we saying. So I get it, but hold on. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret though that you might already know. He might not have justice served to him now, and I'm talking about the temper tantrum throwing toddler right now. But he might not have justice here. But there's gonna come a day where he's gonna have justice somewhere else. And that sentence truly is a life sentence. Okay? So I get it. I get what you're saying. I asked the same man, you need to go on my backup page. You will know I don't like him. And I calls him out all the time. You get me? And it's a lot more than go down with that. And look, I'm going to tell you something. I know people, okay, I'm holding y'all up. I'm going to get back to it. But hold on. I'll tell you something else, TJ. I love Obama. I thought Obama was the greatest president ever. However, given some of the things that done came out, as much as I champion him, as much as I think he was a great president, I can't sit here and say that he's not guilty of what they're saying. Now, they haven't came with full-fledged evidence like we have in this case. But what I'm saying is, I'm keeping an open mind to it. I'm not just going to sit here and say, no way, man, he didn't do that, man. Them girls wanted him and that. No, I'm not fixing to do that. I'm not fixing to do that, right? So, I'm asking that you please do the same thing with this guy, because he's been running rampant for a long time. Oh, you didn't vote for Obama? Is that what you're talking about? I'm sorry, you didn't. You know, okay. Well, that's your thing. I'm not here to tell you who to do that for. I'm just trying to let you. I'm trying to let you know something.
He threatened that he was going to release that to the world. You better keep on. This was coming out in the trial, bro. So for those people,
listen up, TJ,
who think this little girl thought of all that shit on her own, let me see her track record. Let me see the record before she got to him. I said this last time. Let me see the record. Let me see everything, brother. Let me know. Let me see some of her other boyfriends.
Go TJ, cause that's my TJ.
They're peed in them.
We need to see them receipts, TJ. If she was this way, if Cassie was this way before, why? How? What? Brother, tell me, please, enlighten me, because I don't know everything, and I don't confess to know everything. But why hasn't any of her ex-boyfriends never said she got down with them like that? If this is how she got down, you get what I'm saying? But yet we got a damn near 40-year-old man grooming a 19-year-old.
Mouth. They gave her drugs.
We love TikTok
Let me
Shop.
see some of her other boyfriend. This is what's coming out in the trial, bruh.
That part, Fern
So those
Life.
people,
Shout out to Fern
I'm
Life.
going to say it
man.
again. You can't fix stupid.
So why do you think she came out after all these years? You have some people that believe that she felt the type of way, that she did all these freak offs with Diddy and she don't got nothing to show for it. And you have some people, they believe that, you know, she's mad that Diddy did more for Young Miami than her.
Well, you got to understand this, brother.
Do you ever wonder how
Hold
Nectar
on.
can offer
That's
such an
commercial.
incredible
Hold
deal
on
for their
second. Let me get back to it.
Cassie seen that she wasn't getting her music done. She signed a 10-album deal.
Real quick. First of all, in the music industry, signing somebody to a 10-album contract is ridiculous. That's like, man, come on. You setting the bar so high that you know they're not going to achieve it. But he did that because he knew that gave him leverage over her.
She wasn't getting her music done. He gave her
That part, Fern Light, manipulation.
Allegedly, him and others, prostitutes or
We
male
love TikTok
escorts,
Shop.
gave her all kinds of diseases. All kinds of diseases. So she's sitting back and she didn't get none of the stuff that he promised her. So she asked him for $10 million.
That part,
and I'm gonna
TJ.
go
You
about
get it.
my
I knew
business.
you would get it. I knew you were cool, TJ.
Cassie asked him for $10 million. Benjamin Bradford, one of the great lawyers in New York
Liz, hey,
City
Bessie, good
that helped
morning.
him on the Shine case, told Puff, yo, get that girl $10 million and she's gonna go away. The federal government had been looking at Puff since 2011.
Listen, TJ. Audrey, where you at?
I'm gonna say this again. The federal government had been looking at Puff since 2011 because they had information or somebody made a complaint to them that he was sleeping with underage boys. They went and offered a proffer agreement to one of the gangsters who's in jail. I'm not going to say his name, but 50 be getting at him all the time. Point blank. Now,
We just gonna pause that for a minute. We're gonna let that sizzle in your spirit. Now, with that being said, repentant heart every day says, I believe that all of it. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you for the hanging lights. Thank you so much, Liz. That was beautiful. Thank you, Bessie. Now, if you paid attention to the whole trial, hey, Philly, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. If hold on, we had a comment come up and it went fast. Hold on, who was that? LaFern, like, my ex works for the. They accumulate evidence for several years. See, and now we said they have been watching him for a while. But now, if you paid attention to the trial, they hadn't even mentioned anything about below the age people. So, if they've been watching him for years, on the strength of somebody said something about that's already incarcerated and gave him that nugget and that tidbit of information, and they started watching him since then, he's already in this trial. We ain't even got to that. That hadn't even been brought up yet. If you think this man is going to walk, you are living in a false reality. Now, the only way he gets an opportunity to walk. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that gold medal, Liz. Thank you, Bessie. The only way he walks Now that be a possibility right there, TJ. I ain't gonna argue with you on that. TJ says he'll be acquitted, or I think you meant pardoned. But nope. I got to disagree with you on that, TJ. Because and this is a state. It's a state, and he can't pardon state. He can only pardon federal. So, hey, thank you for that heart, me bestie. But they hadn't even gotten to that, man. So if that gets brought up, I listen. Or the other way he gets out. The other way, it's federal. Is it federal? Okay, so it's the other way he can do. It's one way that he won't be able to pardon him. So I might have it reversed, but it's one way because of the court that's in. He can't do it, but the other way he's going to get out, if he does, is if he snitches on everybody. If he brings them the bigger fish, basically turning witness. He's got to help the prosecutors. That's his only other lifeline at this point. And before I finish, let me say this. TJ said, Puffy Jacket, we'll talk and we'll be out. And again, that'd be a smart thing. That'd be a smart thing for him. But I will tell you this. He did say, if he goes down, before all this, if he goes down, everybody going down. And that's his words, not mine. So that's Puffy Jacket's words.
They've been watching Puff for the longest. Cassie dropped the lawsuit. Puff pays her $30 million the next day. They read the lawsuit. It's in record.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
repentant heart every day. Yeah, I said that. If he gets out, I don't know
we
if
could
he's
get
gonna
him for
last
this.
long.
We could get him for that. So now,
Demetrius says the thing is, he is getting on the stand. It's a wrap. Oh, if he is getting on the stand, it's a wrap. A lot of people are telling him to. I've heard that they said his defense team is telling him to do it, so it doesn't make him look bad. Me personally, this is just my opinion, and I don't know much, but I think, put it like this: if he can control himself, then it may work. Hey, good morning, Bestie. Welcome to the live. If he can control himself on the stand, then he may stand a chance. But if they can't control him as far as the egotistical narcissist that he is, it's gonna implode on him. He's gonna do himself damage. And judging from the way he was writing the questions on the paper and handing it to his defense counsel to ask when Cassie was on the stand, he's not bright at what questions. It's not going. It'd be best that he didn't. You get me? Yeah. Listen, when you're back against the wall like that, TJ, boy, he gonna be like the Temptations singing. And again, I'm laughing, but it ain't funny. None of this is funny. But I'm laughing because of the fact. I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm laughing because for so many years, for a few decades now, this man has had power and control and ruined so many people's lives that now to see him not have power and be the one that's at the mercy of other people for a change, I like it. It's funny. It's funny.
they give Cassie a deal. You took part of this, Cassie. Do you think she wanted to come to court on him? She got her $30 million and she can go with her family now. She's not getting paid for this. She didn't bring charges up against him. The federal government did.
When my doctor said I needed to eat healthy.
Commercial. Oh, we're about done with this one. Then we're gonna. Hold on.
and gave her immunity in any charges.
Bessie said,
Cassie
yes, he
got
has. And
immunity
for
too,
these
bro.
content creators to get on here and defend him
Because
is
if it's
sickening.
sex trafficking
It is
and she's taking part
outlandishly
of it,
sickening,
and
Bessie.
she's paying them, and by Puff telling her to
Welcome
pay
in,
them,
Natty.
Puff telling them to get them,
How you
she's
doing?
doing it too. So
Haven't
we
seen
have
you
to
in a
give
few
her
days.
immunity.
You doing all right?
She's not there at her own free will. She's not a hostile witness.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey, thank you for that heart, me,
How you feel
Daddy.
about the people that feel like Cassie husband? He's the one that put her up to it because they needed the money and
Oh, okay, I understand
When I
that.
was with Puff, he used to pay this guy
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
$2,500
Thank you for asking.
every time.
Yes, the Fern
he
Life is
worked
telling
out
of
with
his
him,
character. Exactly.
like he was his trainer. So I'm just saying, I know Alex made some money in being a trainer with Puff. How he spent his money, I don't know. You got to realize Cassie had a salary of $250,000 a year also.
Okay, stop. Because let's talk about it. Because in the beginning, somebody mentioned she did it for the money. All right, listen, $250,000 isn't what this guy was getting. You know, $250,000 a year. He wasn't getting that. He would get more. But let's be honest, that ain't chump change either. $250,000 a year. She's not starving. Cassie was getting $250,000 a year. She's not starving. She's not begging nobody for nothing. So let's squash all of that. She did it for the money. She stayed for the money. Let's squash that. Let's not hear that no more. She just fell in love with the wrong person. And it was a person who didn't have the same love that she had for him, he didn't have for her. Bessie said, but in their era, it's no money at all. As much money as he had. Yeah, right. And that's what I'm saying. Oh, Angel, hey, how you doing, Bestie? Good morning. Thank you for the heart me. Right, and that's what I'm saying. Liz said he had control over her. Had her in the palm of his hand. Exactly. So we can't sit here and say, like people keep saying she did it for the money. When she was doing the modeling, she was making her own money. Natty says she was more successful before him than with him. Boy, ain't no lies detected in that. So I want y'all to squash that. Please, let's get rid of that narrative. Let's stay focused on what's really going on here.
So where are they broke at? Ain't that enough to do something? It ain't enough to do nothing, but it's enough to do something. Cassie was with a well-to-do family where his mother took out $20,000 to pay Diddy. This came out in the trial.
TJ says, anytime.
So my thing about it is this. Anytime
your partner cheats constantly and even in front of you, there is no love for that person. Facts. I'm the only thing I can think of with her, again, being 19, she probably hadn't even experienced anything like this before. You get me? And again, not giving her, I'm just saying that's I'm trying to make logic of it, right? That's the only thing I could think. Because she wasn't the only one he was doing this to. So, Natty said it was his love of power and control, never love for her. That part, again, she was property for him. Property. And when you have, when you're in a relationship where one person views you as property, there's no way that you can, there's not going to be any, you can't be equal. You can't. Because you're not even viewing each other the same way. She's viewing him as a person that she loves and will do anything for. and he's only looking at her as just property. That's not gonna work.
They had money and enough money to do something, not to do nothing. Everybody always want to call people broke. They don't know people's pockets. They want to assume and say dumb shit. But them people wasn't on no corner begging and asking nobody for nothing. My thing, you can't fix stupid.
Thinking about a
So,
hair transplant? Try Hims
That's it
instead.
right there. That's the end of that. But I played that because I wanted to make sure we reiterate. Sorry, I wasn't at the mic. We reiterate for the ones who are continuously saying that one, well, Cassie, she wanted to stay. She liked it, and it was her idea, and she orchestrated all of it. That's one reason why I played that. And for the ones who were saying that yesterday, Capricorn Clark's testimony was the same as Cassie, I wanted to remind you all of what Cassie's testimony was, and get you to understand that she was only there to lay the foundation of his character. And what Capricorn Clark gave you yesterday, and for those who in the beginning when Cassie was on the stand, well, that's, hold on, I gotta get y'all, boy. Let me.
Well, what Cassie said on the stand doesn't give Rika. It's just DV at best. But that's not what he's on trial for. So I don't see any Ricardo charges as being filed against him. Because Cassie didn't prove it.
Well, yesterday on the stand, Capricorn Clark proved it. She gave it to you. She wrapped it up in a box. She put a nice bow on it. She sent it your way. You opened it, and you act like you didn't know what that was. So I don't even want to hear y'all say anything about what they're not. No.
Well, they not, the prosecution, they not showing me any Ricardo charges still. I just don't get it. Like, I mean, yeah, he just liked to get freaky, and he flew people in to get freaky with.
You mean you still can't figure out how that's Ricardo? But she gave it to you yesterday. Oh, I'm telling you. Listen. I'm telling you this right here, right now. What she said on the stand, I'm talking about Capricorn Clark. What she said on the stand yesterday just rotisserie'd, if that's not a word, we just made it, rotisserized. She rotisserized this man right here. To the point, the prosecution team said, listen, we ain't gonna need all them weeks. We gonna wrap it up. We'll wrap it up before then. We'll probably need like a week shy from what we originally asked for or needed for the trial. I mean, listen. And then, what I just told you, the witness under the pseudonym of Mia is supposed to take the stand today. I think she's victim 2, I think. I'm not sure. But anyways, doesn't matter. Problem is, the fact of the matter is, she's taking the stand today allegedly. And she's going to add more context to the Ricardo charges. As if yesterday wasn't bad enough with Capricorn Clark. This other victim is coming on the stand today, or slated to take the stand today, and she's going to even furthermore put more meat on that Ricardo charge bone. I told y'all. That's his chance at getting out. Is over with. Precious Peachy, good morning, love. How you doing? Happy Wednesday to you too, beautiful. I'm telling you, man, listen. They don't care nothing about her going back and trying to work for him again because she already said why she did that. They not caring nothing about her allegedly having a crush on him because that was before they worked together. They don't care nothing about that. What they care about is the fact that this man, I'm going to say allegedly, but took her against her will at point, drove her over to cut his house. Then, when they got there, this guy and his goons broke in the Kid Cudi's house, opened up presents, abused his pet puppy. Listen, you just don't want to believe that he's guilty of Ricardo. Because in the beginning of the trial, that's all y'all was saying when Cassie was on the stand. This doesn't prove Ricardo. It doesn't prove Ricardo. Well, baby, Capricorn Clark gave it to you yesterday. Now, if you choose not to believe it now, or you can't figure out where the Ricardo charges come out, you just don't want to see it. And I have more respect for you to say that than to sit here and act like you can't tell. Natty said these people want to support him so bad, like he's going to do something for them. It's been proven. Ooh, yes. Let me give it up for you on that. Because that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I am really trying to, I really try to work with them and figure, and try to get them pointed into the right direction of where this is coming from. But then when you have people just still continuously trying to say, free him, man, I don't, it is, like I was telling Bestie Marie, it's depressing. It's disparaging. It's, all you can do is like, what? You know? All right, so listen. Since you don't believe me, or since you heard and you can't figure out, let's play some takeaway from yesterday's testimony regarding Capricorn Clark. Well, hold on, let me check something real quick because it's 9:13. I want to see if they've started court. Because I don't think so. No, that was 7 minutes ago. Going into the court. Okay, not yet. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we do have some things. Okay, so this is 16 minutes ago. The United States asked Mr. Nash will quote it. He's making me freak off on my birthday. She didn't want to go. I don't know who we're talking about. And then Shapiro, which is Puffy Jacket's defense person, says a spouse might say he's making me go to Rangers game. I'd rather not tonight. The judge says you could have cross-examined Miss Ventura about this. See, they already messing up. Hold on. Judge says every day now, this is the judge. Every day now I'm getting these letters. These issues should have been raised pre-trial emotions in Lamont. Pre-trial emotions in Lamont. Listen. That's all they have posted now as far as what happened in court. But listen, they don't even have it together. I'm telling you, yesterday through everything, they have no. The defense just. And see, this is why I don't think I could be an attorney, a defense attorney in this kind of trial. Because, baby, yesterday, while Capricorn Clark was talking, I would have just quietly and gently grabbed my briefcase, put my papers inside of my briefcase, slowly closed my briefcase and locked it, and quietly removed myself out of the courtroom during the trial, because there's nothing I could have done for him. You know, like, for real. All right, we're gonna try to. I'm gonna try to play this. And hopefully it's
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again.
language friendly.
I'm going to apologize for my congestion. Ooh, the sinuses or something else. So you may hear me making some noise. I'm going to try to keep it low. But we are on week 3 of the Diddy trial. And now we have P. Diddy's ex-assistant details horrifying things that happened. I'll just say that. I don't even know if I can repeat it. But, you know, I said this week we're probably going to get more into the RICO stuff, you know, that's really going to put him away. If it happens, I'm going to do my best to try to keep everything that I'm hearing in this video in. But as you guys know, certain things cannot be repeated in a reaction video. So I'll probably have to trim out some stuff. But we are on the Law and Crime Network channel. All right. Again, appreciate all the love and support with you guys coming over. We ain't gonna waste no more time.
Now, people, that's a valid, incredible news source, right? So
I think this is Capricorn Clark. What she had testified. So let's jump right into it.
let's go. Oh man, we got a commercial. You know, boy, they be giving the commercials at the wrong time.
And welcome back to Law and Crime, everybody. I'm Jesse Weber, and thanks for joining us for our live coverage of the Sean Diddy Combs criminal trial out of New York Federal Court. Right now, they're on a lunch break.
Right,
Gives
me
us
too,
time to
Natty.
analyze what's happened so far as we begin week 3 in the prosecution of this case. And really, really interesting testimony from what we're getting reports on what happened in court today. But by the way, for the next hour or so, we're going to be taking your questions on YouTube. Any questions you have about today's testimony, anything about that's happened in the case so far, where you think the case is going to go, submit them on YouTube, and me and my great panel of guests are going to break them down. But before I bring in my guests, I got to bring on right now Elizabeth Milner, Law and Crimes reporter, who has been in that courtroom in New York Federal Court every single day of testimony, including today.
Hey, she's been doing a great job.
He's just telling you.
Great job. You know, when I was trying to play catch up, I was watching videos from this channel. Very, very, very informative, man. Very informative. That's what's dangerous, though, about reacting to a video, because it's so much information. You have to trim out so much. Very, very detailed. Shout out to her.
Hey, Elizabeth, it's great to see you. I will ask you about what the vibe is and what we're seeing in the court in a minute, but I have to start with the testimony of Capricorn Clark. So this former assistant to Sean Combs, we knew she was going to take the stand. She had been mentioned last week during Kid Cudi's testimony. I want to take this in pieces if I can, so because I know we have a little bit of time with you. So just talk to me real quick about how she began her testimony and how she started working for Sean Combs, and then we'll move into more of the specific allegations regarding Kid Cudi.
Yeah, well, Jesse, from what Capricorn Clark said while on the stand today, she said that she and Diddy actually go back before she actually started working with him. She said she met him around 2002, and then from there, later on, that's when she started getting into his employment around 2004, between 2004 to 2006. So when she was first brought on, she was brought on as a personal assistant, and she said actually on the first day of the job, she was taken to Central Park. And you might think, oh, we're going to go to Central Park, it's going to be great. But that's not really how she described her first day on the job. She said she went there with Sean Combs, Diddy, and she also went there with Paul Alford. Now, who is Paul Alford? He's actually the security guard that we've known about for a number of testimony, right? But she's actually talking about Uncle Paulie. And so she said that she was brought to Central Park with them. And then she kind of gets into why they would go to Central Park. And it was essentially to threaten Capricorn Clark. Why? Because she actually used to work with Death Row. And who was the CEO of Death?
First day of the job. And this guy already messes up. He's already threatening and using his company as a means to hire her for employment. And he's already threatening his employee. That's the first one.
Should have been gone after that. Man, first day, oh no, you already knew you were about to be in for it. Dang.
Row, that is Suge Knight, one of Diddy's many arch nemesis. And so she said that she described her previous relationship with Suge Knight as he is actually the father of her best friend's children. So she does not have a personal, intimate relationship with Suge Knight necessarily, but she just knows of him and knows him a little bit closer, mainly because of her best friend, and that he is the father of her best friend's children. And so when she was taken to Central Park around this time, this being in 2004, she said that Diddy told her if she had anything to do with Suge Knight, then there was an objection raised in court. The defense obviously objecting to that statement, but the government continued.
Hey, I'm gonna let it play. I'll be right back. She went, hey, bestie. She said, Rudy. Auntie Jenny said, Rudy. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna get her something to eat real quick. Daddy duty.
I need to ask her about this alleged threat, and she being Capricorn Clark had explained that Diddy was relatively calm while delaying this kind of message to her. She said that during this kind of meetup at Central Park, or during this meeting, that Uncle Paulie said nothing. He was calm as well too. He was a little stoic from her description of it. And she said, as far as the response to the threat goes, she says, well, we'll just have to see. But Capricorn said while she was on the stand that she should have just been more transparent about her relationship with Suge Knight. And that's when we start getting into the exhibit photos of just some of the security guards that we've seen a number of times through these exhibits. So we were shown a photo of D-Rock, who Capricorn Clark explained was a good friend of Biggie Smalls. D-Rock actually came on board after Capricorn Clark. Then we're showing an exhibit photo of Ruben, who's actually D-Rock's little brother. And she explained that that Ruben came after Capricorn Clark, and so did, she said that Ruben came after Capricorn Clark, same as D-Rock. And then as far as Roger Bonds, we already saw an exhibit photo of him, but we saw that again today. And she explained that Roger Bonds started around the time that Capricorn Clark did. So this was around that 2004 time frame. And then slowly we start to get into the guns. And Capricorn had said that she had observed Diddy with a gun while she was being kidnapped. And obviously we're going to divulge and take.
But now listen, are you seeing how he's using one of his companies to thank you for the let him cook. I appreciate that, Natty. Sorry, I wasn't here. But do you see how using a company to cover up criminal activity, that's called Ricardo charges, right? That plays into the Ricardo charges, right? We're trying to help y'all out, the ones who can't seem to figure it out.
That piece by piece in just a little bit, but the government asked her, that Diddy has discussed having a gun before, because there was this whole, press thing, an interview that Diddy had done with 50 Cent, and we all know Diddy's relationship with 50 Cent is not the best, and so I guess Puff, or who she refers to as Puff, said that Chris Lighty, who was Diddy's manager around that time, said that Diddy said, I don't like the back and forth, I like guns. And Puff, or Diddy, or Sean Combs, as we're calling him, was actually talking about 50 Cent during that exchange. So that was automatically the start of the testimony,
Right.
Already going off with a little bit of fire.
Do you see how he is frying himself? All of my free Diddy supporters. Do you see how that grease is just sizzling? And he is frying himself. So we cannot sit here and continuously say
I don't see any Ricardo charges. I just see DV at best.
no mas. No mas. You see it. It's there. It's been stated. It's out. She provided pictures. She provided stuff. Listen. Well, it's going to be a sad day for some of y'all in a few weeks.
Fireworks after.
Look,
Powerball is trying to censor.
Hold on. We got a commercial. And I might not be able to play all of it. I don't know. We'll see.
y'all know how 50 Cent is and how much he be trolling. Boy, I can't
Natty
wait
says,
to
I'm
see
convinced
his
the one
response to
saying that
this.
get all their
Oh,
updates
man.
only from TT. Got to.
Because, 50 was like,
And
Diddy tried to take him shopping.
And Natty, I've actually seen where people have posted that it's bots or trolls that are basically paid to come on here and try to do stuff like that, combat what we're saying, and try to profess his innocence or make him look innocent on here. But ain't gonna work here.
And he's looking at him like, what? But this right here with the gun. Oh, man.
Kind of going into how she came to work with Diddy.
Yeah, look, when you're dealing with a racketeering case, we've said it before, we'll say it again, having the assistance, the bodyguard, the security, the people that were in that inner circle is imperative.
Yes.
Because you're trying to understand the inner workings of this criminal enterprise or this organization, but also, Diddy is ultimately charged in a racketeering conspiracy case alone. There's no other defendants, so you wonder who did he allegedly do all of these things with? Who did he engage in this pattern of criminal activity with? But the reason she is also important is because I believe she is being used to help prove some of the underlying crimes for racketeering. When you're talking about racketeering conspiracy, the prosecution needs to prove at least 2 underlying crimes. So there's arson, there's kidnapping, there's bribery. But more specifically, what did she...
Look, mods, are we able... Do you think we can continuously play? Because some of the words, they're not taken out. And we know that, you know how we under the watchful eye of TT. But for my moderators that's in here, is it okay to continue playing it, or do you think we should just hold off on this audio? Because we can share the link with them, if they want to go and listen themselves. I just don't want to compromise the platform and get more strikes like we used to. Okay. All right. They gave us the go.
Say regarding kidnapping? And what did she say, I believe, that may help support the forced labor allegation? Again, really, really important for racketeering. What did Capricorn Clark...
Okay, y'all hear that? Y'all, hey. Wish they had a door knock on here. I would knock. But they're giving you another aspect of the Ricardo charges. I do too, Bestie. I do, and it make me so mad because I think we conduct our lives pretty good as far as the raunchiness and raciness, if that's a word. But we try to keep it respectful on here, and we still get in trouble. But then I go on other people's platform, they be off the wall with it, man. I'm like, yo, did I come in with a 40 or something? What happened? Like, it's wild in here, and they have no strikes. I don't get it. But for my people who are saying they don't see any Ricardo, are y'all listening? Do you see how Capricorn Clark's testimony yesterday was impactful? Way different from Cassie's. Jenny said they be wilding the F out. For real, they do. Natty said, right. You get it? Listen. We're not making this up, people. And you know, it's facts over feelings. It's facts over feelings.
Clark have to say today?
Yeah, she said a lot, Jesse. Sometimes I just have to go through my notes to see just where everything is that she had been talking about. But as far as just the kidnapping goes, and I just want to apologize, everyone. I know my voice is a little hoarse, so if it scratches off a little bit here and there, I apologize for that. But so as far as the kidnapping allegation goes, that stems from 2011. And what do we know that happens in 2011, specifically around December of that time frame? That is when we start to kind of get into the Kid Cudi and Cassie relationship. Obviously, a very huge talking point throughout a lot of this testimony, especially last week, kind of trickling into this week. And so around this 2011 time frame, Capricorn Clark is no longer Diddy's personal assistant. Now she's a global brand director. So she's around 28 years old around this time. But she said around this time frame, she was also working as Cassie's creative director and manager too. So kind of pulling those double roles. And she said as far as that role of being a creative director, it was kind of about maximizing the optics for Cassie. And so as far as just everything with the Kid Cudi incident, Capricorn Clark explained that Cassie was seeing Kid Cudi in December of 2011. We already know this, but Cassie had asked around this time frame whether or not Kid Cudi could come on a hike with Capricorn and Cassie. And Capricorn actually said that this was going to be a bad idea because Capricorn was concerned whether or not Diddy would find out about this. And so Capricorn was explaining that Diddy had bought her phone, and so he was worried, or she was worried about Diddy seeing these text messages come through from Cassie, kind of explaining that she wanted to bring Kid Cudi on this hike that they were doing together. And so Capricorn actually explained on the stand today that she was the one who brought Cassie in to buy that burner phone, so that way it wouldn't be traced back to Cassie. That way they could talk without Diddy finding out. So that was kind of a big revelation that we learned today because Capricorn had explained that she got Cassie this burner phone, or she went with her to Best Buy to buy this burner phone because she was afraid that they would all, there is an objection made by the defense, obviously, because everyone's just like, oh my God, this is now another time where Diddy allegedly threatened either Capricorn Clark or Cassie or somebody in just that fashion. But the objection was sustained, so that part is struck from the record. But Capricorn said she all of a sudden was hearing a loud banging at her apartment. And so she said that she looked through the peephole of her apartment door and she saw that Diddy was upset. Damn. He was pacing, his body language looked like something was kind of in his hand. So Capricorn Clark opened the door, and she said when she did, Diddy was still upset. She explained everything that he wore, from a button-down shirt, a sweater, that he had slacks that just happened to be ripped. And she said it exposed his underwear. But she said that Diddy had a gun in his hand whenever he was banging on her door. And so Diddy said to Capricorn Clark in a very angry way, why didn't you tell me who is Scott? And as we know Scott to be Scott Mescudi.
The fact that Puffy Jacket ripped up her overtime/pay follows up the artists and their claims. Bestie, first and foremost, I love you. Secondly, it does. And understand that she was not one of his artists like they were, right? But what it shows is his operation, what he does, his character, his actions. And then when she put all the rest of this with it, come on, man. How? Yes, all opinions are welcomed here. But come on, man. Make it make sense.
A.k.a. Kid Cudi. And so Diddy told Capricorn, get dressed, work this.
All right, this feels almost...
Hold on, that's a commercial. But now, here's what we're about to go into. Chrissy, hey, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate it. How you doing? How you doing this morning? So, but this is what I want you all to do. Pay attention. Because now we're about to go into that kidnapping situation.
That's what she said. And I will say here, Jesse, that Capricorn Clark, when she was on the stand, I wouldn't necessarily characterize it as being casual, but as far as just profanity is concerned, she very much just kind of laid it all out there as far as what was said, what words were used. And so it did get a little profane during some aspects of her testimony. And so, yeah, Diddy had told her that they were going to go kill this person, and that person being Kid Cudi. And so during this testimony, I saw that Diddy...
Oh, I just got the notification. Hey, thank you all for sending me the daily heart me's. We have completed the first stage of the club request and unlocked club cheers. All fans can now send it to celebrate. Thank you so much for doing that. And if you want to send a club cheers, by all means do so. And it is most definitely, I am thankful for them. So let me give it up to you all for doing that. Thank you for helping us achieve that goal. Jennifer, welcome in. Natty, thank you for that popular vote. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
He was jotting down some notes during this, and so Capricorn said that she didn't want to go, but Diddy made her, and
I'm
he
glad
put
you
a
got
gun
it too,
in
Chris,
his waist,
and I'm glad
the
you're
same
here.
gun that he had in his hand, he put in his waist, and that Diddy still seemed mad, but this time mad at Capricorn. And Capricorn said that Diddy had never been to her house before, but once they were in the car, Diddy moved his gun from his waist to his lap now. But notably, Ruben, who we know as also Rue, but is also D-Rock's little brother, was the one who was driving the car. So it was the three of them, Capricorn.
Let's slow it down for people. And hopefully after this, man, we really don't have to waste no more shows on this, man. Hopefully y'all get it, but let's slow it down. So, you have Uncle Paulie, who is a security guard that knew he was going over and knew he was going over to Kid Cudi's house to unalive Kid Cudi. In addition to this going on, they have kidnapped Capricorn Clark and forced her to go over to Kid Cudi's house with them, with the intent on unaliving him. Now you have Rube, who she said is the little brother of D-Rock. D-Rock is Biggie's best friend. Well, was supposed to be best friend, but that could be disputed now. But he's part of the security detail as well. And Rube is there. So now he has people on his payroll going with him to perform, to execute, to do, to render, however way you can get it, criminal acts. That becomes a criminal enterprise, which lands you under the Ricardo Act. Again, no reason for us to have to hear that they are not proving that. We told y'all, and now you're seeing it. Give it time. They were building the foundation. Give it time, and they are going to prove it. Listen, it's out. It's here. And today's witness is supposed to be even worse than this, allegedly.
Diddy and Ruben, a.k.a. Rue. And so Capricorn explained that she wasn't able to leave the Escalade, which I guess is the vehicle that they had driven down to. She said that everything was just happening so fast. There was no conversation going on. But they went from Capricorn Clark's home all the way down to Kid Cudi's house, or I guess all the way up to Kid Cudi's house in the Hollywood Hills.
Hey, thank you for the club cheers,
then we're
Natty.
showing an exhibit photo of the Google map that shows kind of the direction of driving or direction of travel from Capricorn Clark's house to Kid Cudi's home. And then we see that same exhibit photo of Kid Cudi's front door. And so from there, Capricorn was kind of explaining she didn't know whether or not Kid Cudi was actually at his home, but Capricorn said that she had to stay in the car. Meanwhile, Ruben and Diddy went inside Kid Cudi's home. Capricorn explained that she had called Cassie and called Cassie's burner phone through all of this. And Capricorn had explained to Cassie, she said, "Cassie, what the F?" And she had told Cassie that she had brought... She was brought to Kid Cudi's home, essentially, to be there so that way they can. And Capricorn
thank you for the follow.
Changed the name from Cassie's burner phone over to, like, I guess her best friend's name because she didn't want Diddy to find out that she called her to give her the heads up. But guess what happens next? Diddy comes out, and she said that while she was on the phone with Cassie, she could hear Kid Cudi on the phone telling Cassie that this man's in my house. Those weren't the exact words that were said, but you get what I'm going with that. But
thank you.
And Cassie was trying to stop him because
Said it
he
that way.
could have been killed in this incident, according to Capricorn Clark. Diddy comes out. Diddy explains, who the F are you talking to?
Yes, Natty.
Diddy called
Crazy
that same
work.
number back, found out that that's Cassie's burner phone, then got livid knowing Cassie even had this extra phone. And so Capricorn said that Kid Cudi later pulled up to his home. He sped off later, though, and
Listen.
then D-Rock, Capricorn, and Rue all followed him in the same car, chased him until they essentially lost him. But then the police responded, and
Woo! Hey, so this guy had his 2 security guards with him, racing in the car, and basically in a high-speed chase, trying to catch Kid Cudi to It is. You're right. You're right, Natty. It's sad how many people seem to have failed her. Just saying. You're right. But you know, here's another thing there's another element that I want to put to this though. For those who keep saying, why did she stay? Look at what she has to witness all the time. This is called fear, people. This is called fear. Thank you, Bestie, for sharing the live. So how dare y'all keep blaming this woman? It's fear. Look what he's doing when he found out that she's talking to somebody else. Natty said, right, if he's going to do that to them, what would he do to her? That part right there. You hear it? Y'all hear it? And she got pictures. She provided pictures. The evidence is there. Ty, welcome, Ty. Ty says she couldn't run. Nowhere to hide. I mean, Ty just broke it down to y'all. It's that simple. Like, if you don't understand it from that, you are definitely doing your due diligence not to want to get it and understand. There was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to go. Can you imagine you out minding your own business and your best friend call you on? First of all, you got to have a burner phone because this dude is tracking all your other phones and your incoming calls, your outgoing calls. And so your friend call you and tell you, girl, hang on, let me get y'all.
Girl, your man tripping. He over here trying to... Your boyfriend, you need to do something, girl. I don't know what you need to do. You need to go somewhere, get somewhere. I don't know, girl, but he done came and kidnapped me, and he got me over here doing it, and this man crazy. Hurry up, figure it out.
Now, tell me you wouldn't already be smoking a cigarette. Trying to, your nerves would be so bad, and you sitting here saying, why didn't she leave? Bessie said the fact that she was held for 3 days over something you didn't do is crazy work. Period. Period. Bessie just, listen. Ty and Bessie just, they gave y'all that work. We giving y'all that work. Understand, yesterday was when I said happy wonderful Wednesday to everybody this morning, and I said except for this guy, he's probably not having a wonderful Wednesday. This is what I meant. Because yesterday, all of that arrogance and all of that clout that he had, that he thought he was going to be able to manipulate the jury panel and all, and again, he only needs one, but I'm trying to tell you, yesterday, his chances of accomplishing those things declined significantly due to Capricorn Clark's testimony. And when the victim comes on the stand today, who goes by that pseudonym of Mia, it is alleged, it has been stated that she is going to add even more emphasis on the Ricardo side of the charges. Now, as if Capricorn Clark didn't do an outstanding job of this yesterday, they are saying this witness is going to add more. And let's be honest, given what we hear, can he really afford more? Natty said, I would think he should be happy where he is. He can get plenty of passing around. Yeah. To that point, you're right. To that point, you're right. It's up his alley.
That's when Kid Cudi, I guess, returns back to his home. And it's interesting because I don't recall under direct or even cross-examination that Kid Cudi explaining that he actually drove to the home before.
Dude, I'm really just trying to take all this in from what we know of
Me
Kid
too,
Cudi
brother.
testifying. And, you know, a lot of people were hinting about Diddy and Tupac and Biggie and all that. And again,
Be the light. Welcome in, brother. How
it's
you doing this morning?
explaining how violent this man can get. That sounds like a movie. He's driving in a car, speeding with the gun on his lap. Like,
love
talking
TikTok
about we about
shop.
to go kill. Like,
And this ain't no Nicky Tarantino movie neither. This is real life. This is what this dude did. This is what this guy did. And you talking. Man, look, I ain't gonna even hold
come
y'all.
on, man.
As a
Oh, that's
clinical
commercial.
nutritionist,
I ain't gonna even hold y'all no more, man.
the day, which are
Hold on, let me get this commercial up out of here.
Yeah, it's looking real bad. Real bad.
Rotisserated.
That's when Kid Cudi, I guess, returns back to his home. And it's interesting because I don't recall under direct or even cross-examination that Kid Cudi explaining that he actually drove to the home before the police arrived. But according to Capricorn Clark, that's what she kind of said happened. But she surprisingly said that Diddy was relatively calm when he saw the police sirens going over to Kid Cudi's home, but that afterwards, Capricorn, Diddy, and Ruben all went to the Key Club, and Diddy told Capricorn to essentially call Cassie and tell her to come over here, and Cassie said, okay, well, come get me. So Diddy told Cassie to tell Kid Cudi not to tell the police that Diddy was the one allegedly behind it and not to make a police report about the incident.
Guess who just admitted that he was behind all of that? So now then, are you all going to continue denying when this man said it himself? Bessie said Puffy Jacket was trying to be his pops. Hoodie. Facts. He was trying to do what his dad did, and he wasn't cut out for. You know, this is one of the things where you just have to stay in your lane, man. You know, everybody's walk of life ain't for everybody else. Your walk of life is for your walk of life, and just walk it. If you're wearing Adidas, if you're wearing Nike, if you're wearing Bobos, whatever shoes you got, you just walk it. Don't try to walk somebody else's path. But he just said, well, the reporter, just said that Puffy Jacket told Cassie to tell Kid Cudi to not tell the police it was him.
The Capricorn told Kid Cudi as well, too, not to file this police report, and that Kid Cudi was essentially mind blown. There was another objection. That objection was sustained, so maybe the mind blown won't be in the transcript. But after this event happened, and after this, because this was just them going into the home, that Capricorn and Cassie went over to Diddy's house, and Diddy began.
So it's so loud right now. I know we got the sirens.
Sorry
going on.
about that.
This
They
is
got
the beauty of a live shot right outside the
behind me.
federal courthouse. But look, just from my point of view, look, this is really, really important testimony.
Raw and uncut. But yeah, everything she's saying is like, this is really, 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 really bad. This is someone who already had got threatened from day one. Yeah, this is bad. See what he gonna say here.
Because it helps establish this alleged kidnapping. It helps to back up what Kid Cudi had testified to. It helps to describe and back up and corroborate with what Cassandra Ventura had testified to. All this idea that the jury has to believe that Sean Combs was essentially a mob boss, that he was running this criminal organization and had people engaging in this kind of behavior. And I'll pick it up back to you because the sound stopped. But, also real quick, she talked about her work. And she talked about being forced. I mean, if we're talking about forced labor, it wasn't just the hours. I mean, she talked about the hours.
Hey, thank you
she
for the
had to
rose,
work
be
as
the light.
well,
I
but
appreciate it,
also
brother.
the kind of circumstances of her job too, right?
She did, and as I'm trying to go through my notes, everyone, that's also the beauty of the live shot.
Thank
is
you for that
writing or
heartbeat.
finding your place where you
And that popular vote. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the support.
But yeah, as far as just the overworking that she did, she said on a good night she got 4 hours of sleep, and then on a bad night she got 2 hours of sleep. I'm personally think 4 hours of sleep is kind of a bad night, but according to her, that was just pretty typical.
Man, I'm not
She
gonna
said
hold
that
y'all.
she even got stress-induced alopecia from working with Diddy. She even had to go to a doctor. She said that around that time frame, she was making about $65,000 as her salary as a personal assistant. But the thing is, Jesse, she went to HR, and HR calculated Capricorn's overtime, and she said that she had enough overtime that was owed to her,
Chopper said
totaling
all
about
of it. Man,
$80,000
they need to put.
of
Look, I
overtime.
hope they
That's a
spot
lot
him while he's in
money.
court and
And
tell him
what
to come
did
on the
he do
stand.
whenever he was shown kind of this paper receipt and kind of this document that showed that she was owed $80,000 in overtime, Diddy allegedly ripped up this paper. That's what Capricorn Clark said while she was on the stand. But like a lot of the other assistants that have testified so far, including, David James and George Kaplan as well, that Capricorn Clark's one of her many duties was to set up hotel rooms. And even just thinking about this time frame, right, Jesse, it's from 2004 to 2006. So this was before the Cassie relationship that she was still required to set up these hotels. She said that she would unpack a camera box. This camera box had a camera, lube, baby oil in it. It had, she said that she had.
This is before Cassie came into the picture. So where's my people at that kept saying earlier that Cassie was the one who arranged these and facilitated it, and that this was her, this is how she was before, prior to, in other relationships or whatever. Because now you just heard this was before her. So whose behavior was this when it comes to the freak off? Whose behavior was it?
He had to unpack Diddy's clothes, his shoes, a toiletry bag, which the toiletry bag was that Louis Vuitton bag that allegedly kind of still the same old tricks, it seems like, too, from just booking these hotel stays that if it was one of Diddy's girlfriends, because, again, this was before Cassie Ventura, that
that'd be fire if Tisha grabbed him. Oh, man.
Alias that was used by Cassie. She had explained that as far as the names for the hotel
message her and
reservations for
say
Diddy
that.
specifically, she said that those could be either Frank Black, they could be Frank White.
Stop. And Bestie, we talked about this too. Let's do it. Let's do it this way. Everybody that's in here, we're gonna play a game. What is the opposite of white? Watermelon 222, welcome in, says, I feel like all the witnesses are in danger after their testimony. Facts. Jenny says black. Come on, anybody else? Who what's the opposite of white? You can do the same thing Bessie did. You can put the heart. You can write it out. However. But what is the opposite of white? And then we're going to, Bestie, already, but then we're going to put them in a direction we need them to go in, right? Okay, all right. So Bestie did it. Everybody else might not know what the opposite of black is. That's okay. So Bestie did. Opposite of white is. It's black. Now, and there is some of that in there too, Natty. But Notorious B.I.G., one of his aliases or one of his stage, and he would use one of his gimmick names he would use on stage is Frank White. This guy would get D-Rugs, prescription D-Rug, under the name Frank Black. And also, sometimes he would do the rooms in Frank Black and Frank White. But How sinister is that when, if you ask me, they are pretty much painting a picture or a narrative that he unalived or had something to do with an unalivement of the notorious B.I.G. How arrogant is that to play on his name like that? Just saying.
She even said that during some of these hotel stays that he being Diddy would stay at the
So
hotel
do I,
with Kim
Natty.
Porter, and this would be
Wholeheartedly.
something that would happen at
Wholeheartedly, I
least
do.
once a week. But there were other girlfriends who would stay at the hotel too, and then
He
even
did.
in the aftermath of everything, Jesse, it's
He
kind
thought he
of
was
that same
untouchable
old thing where
until
she
now.
would
Yep.
pack up all of his stuff and clean up after him, and what was kind of on the walls and kind of the stickier stuff that's found inside these hotel rooms, it was baby oil. So it was interesting kind of hearing that even before the Cassie Ventura relationship goes, that Capricorn Clark was essentially doing the same type of responsibilities that other assistants did while Diddy was with Cassie and even after the fact.
Right. Well,
Jenny
listen,
said
we have
he's
a
on
lot to
trial.
break down
Hold on.
with her.
He's on trial for wrong things. I believe he should be charged for Pac and Biggie, Craig Mack, etc. Fact. And they need to open up Kim Porter's again. You're right. You're right. All of them. You're right, Bestie. All of them. All of them. We should stop playing games. Black King of NYC, that's what he thought he was. Exactly. Demetrius, exactly. He was trying to be the king of, New York. Dr. Rashida, hey, bestie, thank you for that heart, me. I appreciate the goats. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rashida. He thought that he was some kind of Tony Soprano, right? Come on, man. Come on. And they say they can't see where the Ricardo charges come in.
Testimony and what to make of it. But Elizabeth Milner, thank you so much for the in-depth report. It feels like I'm, reading the transcript. That's how detailed.
That's another commercial.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna look at some of the comments here. Her first comment said, "I can't wait to hear what 50 Cent has to say about all this." I'm gonna see if he posted something.
Yeah, I need to check that out. Well, he's just reading comments now, so we're done with the audio. But yeah, that I'm hoping that sheds light on the ones who just cannot seem to figure out how in the world they come up with Ricardo charges. I hope we just yet again, broke it down for you. Let's go see what's happening in court. Let's see what we can find out. They should have been started. I know we had the other comments, but it was like the opening. This is an hour ago. United States versus Sean Combs, day 11 with LAPD. So LAPD is supposed to be on the stand. FDLA victim Mia, I told y'all, and Nash to testify. I wonder what LAPD could be testifying. I wonder if that has anything to do. I don't know. And what's FDLA? I don't know. What is FDLA? That's on the docket today. Okay, so is it 5? Wait a minute. 7 minutes ago. 7 minutes ago. Puffy Jacket's defense, Mr. Steele, whoever Steele is, if you thought there was a pew pew in the Escalade, you could have put out a bolo, right? The prosecution says objection. Judge overruled that. Steele said you didn't, right? Ignacio, I don't know who Ignacio is, he said right. Steele said any mention of security cameras. Ignacio says I saw some. Okay. Steele says Mr. Miss Cuddy, which that's Kid Cudi, right? Wasn't hyperventilating, right? Ignacio says he was tense, I'd say. Still said, did you search his Porsche? Ignacio said no. Still says it was 8:20 a.m., not 6:30 a.m., right? Ignacio said right. Still says nothing further. No redirect. I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what that meant. Okay, so you said fire department. Oh, okay, fire department. Okay, okay, okay. That could. Yeah. Because of the. Okay, so yeah. All right. Demetrius says Frank W. Frank B. Kings of New York movie. Unreal. Yes. Natty said, kind of funny, the mayor that gave him the key to the city now got his own charges. Just saying. And that's what I was saying earlier, that people, because somebody, was it you? It might have been TJ was saying why she didn't go to the cops. And I was saying, like, there's other people in prominent places that are in on all of this. Chrissy says fire department. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what it meant, fire department, because of the with the car. Natty said Florida Defense Lawyers Association. Didn't he have a place in Miami? He did. In fact, it's actually said 2. It was 2. So the house that they actually raided of his in Miami, he had the house next door to it. But the reason why they didn't know about that house is because he put that in another person's name, and I can't remember the name of the person. But that person, but the address came back to the bad boy address when they looked it up or whatnot, right? So he still had, and the crazy part about it, his son, Puffy Jr., Puffy Jacket Jr., I can't think of his name right now. Anyways, he said it in his song right after the raids, talking about they didn't get the right house because they didn't know about it, basically, So, yeah, he has 2 in Miami, but they only hit 1 because the other one is not in his name, and they didn't know that was his at the time. Jenny said Puffy Jacket has the popo in his pocket. I wonder if they be able to tie that together too. Wouldn't that be great? Because remember that the one that's in Hawaii got in trouble about some stuff dealing with him? I would think fire department would by FDNY. True. Hey, is little brother in here? Did he come in? Oh, he did. Hey, little brother. Boy, you snuck in. I didn't even know. How you doing? FDLA is an association that represents the interests of lawyers in civil suits. Okay, I didn't know that. Grand rising to you, little brother. How you doing today? All right, so let's see if we got any more updates from court. I know I'm gonna let y'all go. In a minute. We just need to see what's coming out. Yeah. Okay, so 52 seconds ago, the government calls Los Angeles arson investigator Lance Jimenez. I'll place a binder in front. Witness take stand. The prosecution says, how many fires have you investigated? Jimenez says 100 a year. Everything between mansions to dumpster fires. LA is pretty crazy. Agreed. All right, so that's what they're saying so far. All right, let me refresh and see if we got any more. Look, it's about to get to the, man, listen, like I've been telling y'all, Capricorn Clark cooked him yesterday, but they about to turn up the pressure. They about to turn up the temperature on this dude, and there's just no way out of it. And the only thing I could see him even doing is serving up other people, man, and telling. That seems to be the only way that I don't, at this point, sorry, y'all. At this point, he should probably just go ahead and accept the 5 years plea deal, and pray to come out and start over. I don't know if he can start over, but start over if possible. But I don't know. Bessie said, I think it's too late to flip now. They're locked in. Yeah, true. They are going for the jugular, and they are not missing. They're not missing. So, hey, everybody, keep up with it. Keep up with it. I hope that we have shed light on the ones who continuously say that they don't see where they're getting Ricardo from. I think we did a good job at pointing that out to you all today. As far as those who said yesterday, Capricorn Clark was basically just had the same testimony that Cassie did. I hope we discredited that for you and showed you the significant and stark differences. Okay? Dean says it's crazy work. He didn't flip because I thought he was going to do that. Didn't he say that? He sure did, Bestie. He said, if I go down, everybody going down. His words, not ours. And then he was upset at the fact that people were so quiet and not basically coming to help him out while he's going through this situation. So I just knew for a fact he was going to start singing. I would have. I'm going to tell you right now, I would have. If I'm in his shoes and I know what they got, I already know it ain't good. And I was moving like this with other people at the time, and now they act like they don't know me. Oh, no, no. See, it's something, and see, it's something about when the court, or when they say that you could be facing up to life. Life. That's something I just can't listen. I got to spoke at you about what I know. Ty said, seriously though, how a Ricardo charge gonna be proved with one person getting arrested? I'm gonna be honest with you though, Ty. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think those people who helped him in that gonna flip if they haven't already flipped. Because you got to remember, I think they said they got over 100 witnesses. I think they're gonna flip. And listen, they're going to flip. In return, they get immunity, meaning whatever they say on the stand, they cannot be tried for. They can't be convicted for. That's what I think. Hey, little brother, from what I got this morning, this lady, it's a lady, and this is not her real name. It's a pseudonym, but she goes by Mia. And they said that she is going to add even more meat to the bone on as far as the Ricardo charges. Ty says, but no one else gets arrested. No one. I can't say. I'm not gonna say that no one else will, because there's some people who are gonna flip. I think. Or have already flipped and offered information in exchange for immunity that probably told them about other people. And so once this is done, they can go for other people. Because you got to remember now, they do got tapes. They do got films. They got evidence on other people. So I don't know if this is where the buck stops and starts and stop at. I don't know. It's terrible that they. No, not that. No. She got out of the. She got out of the industry because she didn't want to play those games. She was smart. She kept her dignity. No, this is a female who's just going by that suit. That's not her real name, but she's just going by that name. But she's supposed to testify today. Jenny says it's terrible that they dodged charges for their part in the whole situation, being just as guilty. Right, it is. It's unfair. I agree with that. Natty says the FED said This ain't over. Nah, I don't think it's over by any means. I think it's far from being over. I just believe that now they're getting to the part where they are going to start getting down to what we was here for initially. Jenny says, have they shown any part of the Puffy Jacket footage the Popo took? They no, only the security stuff from what's his name? Oh, Kid Cudi's house. The incident that happened over there. So far, that's all that they've shown pictures of, and it was like his front door, his car. Because it was stated they cut the hole in the roof and put the in his car that way. Yes, Bessie. They get into the meat and potatoes of it now. So now we about to come with the heavy facts, you know. But this introduction to it went harder than we even suspected it to go. I mean, and I can only imagine what the LAPD and what did they say? FDLA. I wonder what they're gonna talk about. And Nash, I don't know who Nash is, but a person by the last name of Nash is supposed to testify today as well. Hey, Chrissy, thank you for the club. Cheers. I appreciate that, baby girl. Thank you. I don't know who that is, but they're supposed to testify as well. Little brother says, so I've seen some videos about he might be tied to how the purple one passed away. Correct, you did. They played that in court. And allegedly, he knew some things that this guy had already done as far as all of this, pertaining to all of this, and knew that. And I'm only using this as a metaphor, not for real, but knew where the bodies were at. We're gonna leave it at that. But you know what I mean, bestie. I mean, little brother. And you are my bestie too, but little brother, you know what I mean. All right, 2 minutes ago, prosecution says, did you respond as an expert to an auto fire at 8925 Hollywood Hills Road? Jimenez says, yes. There was a cut in, we were just talking about that. There was a cut in the roof of the Porsche. Prosecution, he says, what about inside the Porsche? And he says, burn patterns inside. Prosecution says, any items? He said, a bottle on the front seat. So that is the, okay, Natty said Nash was a stylist. Okay, so the stylist is going to be on there too. Deontay Nash. Okay, thank you, love. All right, I didn't know who that was. Okay, so I wonder what he's going to add to it as well. They talking about the good stuff now, man. Like, listen, he's in the crosshairs now. I know he's sitting at his table sick right now. Man, these updates are coming in slow. Like, I want them to come in back to back so we can know what's going on. But okay, so I'm gonna let you all go for the day. That'll conclude today's show, and you know how we do it tomorrow. We'll come back and we'll do a follow up on what happened today, and talk about that, and see what else we can point out. Okay, bestie. Precious Peach says, "Have an awesome day, everyone." You do the same. And thank you for joining us, Precious Peachy. We appreciate it. But before close, we're going to go to the prayer. Dr. Rashida, grace and peace to you as well. Thank you. You have a great day as well, Natty. And y'all are welcome to stick around for prayer if you like. All right? Let's go to let's bow our heads and go to prayer. Father God, we come to you today to thank you for the blessings that you blessed upon us, the gift of life that you continuously give us, Father. We thank you for allowing us to congregate here and just fellowship with each other and talk about the events that's going on today, Father. I want you to know that we do it in just a matter of conversation, we're not passing judgment on anybody, Father. We know that is your job, and that will be done on Judgment Day, Father. And Father, we also would like to pray that you keep your arms around those that are sick and shut in right now, those who are feeling down and ailing. Prayers go out for Scott as he's dealing with issues with his back and the pain in his back. Father, we pray that you just find a way to place your healing hands upon his back and soothe that pain so he can get back to doing the things that he loves and enjoy in life, Father, because we do know that the one thing about life is that's the best present you can give us, and that's why it's called presence. We understand that, Lord. Father, we pray that you forgive us for all of our sins. Father, we love you for knowing that even though we fall short of the glory, you love us unconditionally, Father, and we want you to know that we put our faith in you and you only. It's these things that we ask, Father, in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. May we all say, amen. Hey, thank you all for joining hashtag I'm going to say it today. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be back here again, and we'll just follow up on what's going on, and we'll just talk about it, right? So you all be safe as we part from here. Be safe. Let's make plans to join back here tomorrow, and I want you to know I wish you all peace and blessings. And this has been Mr. Breaking News, your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, signing off from the newsroom. Take care.